Why are they calling him Castillo on the broadcast? His name is not spelled that way and makes no sense. Maybe that is how he says it, but you know how sometimes in words there's like the silent E or the silent I and you just don't say it? They're adding letters to his name and then pronouncing it. It's the exact opposite of a silent letter. It's an extra letter that doesn't actually exist. His last name is spelled Castillo, like every other person in the world that you've seen Castillo, but they're calling him Castillo and then adding an extra I after the two L's.
I would imagine that he's probably, oh my God, my hair's so like pompadour. Oh, jeez. Get this thing down. The hell's going on here?
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, Arnold Palmer Invitational picks, Puerto Rico Open picks, LIV Hong Kong picks, and of course, a recap of a very profitable Cognizant Classic. You good people out there, you sub to Mayo Media Network, you smash the like, turn on those notifications. Hell, if you're feeling generous this morning because your betting accounts are overflowing with cash, please subscribe on Apple and Spotify and leave a 5-star review. That's what you can do to help us out. Geoff Fienberg, I posted out the clip from last week when me and you were trying to decide right after the WDs, and the decision was, do you bet Shane Lowry or do we bet Davis Thompson and Nico Echeverria? And thankfully, we picked Nico.
Yeah, I mean, Nico out of the gate just seemed like a good number against that field. Was probably, watching the show last week, would have been on any card construction. But I joked with you, Pat. Like, it seemed like you got a decade's worth of bad Honda Classic beats back in 1 week.
Even though Nico had the 2-shot lead on the 18th hole, and he knew it too, because if he thought he had to make a birdie, he does not hit that wedge shot on 18 to 40 feet. He was just like, let me get it on the green and 2-putt. That's good enough for me. Because I think that he knew that Lowry would have had to make eagle to catch him at that point. He's like, I will bet against that rather than me making some sort of stupid error on this hole. But I'm just trying to think back, like Keith Mitchell, actually making a putt. Guys were making putts from below that hole on that pin on 18. Even today yesterday they were doing it, but he made that to sink both of my second place guys that year. Chris Kirk putting it in the water, then hitting his wedge to a foot, knocking it in, getting to the playoff, then beating Eric Cole. Having Luke List all by himself as the clubhouse leader. JT does exactly the same thing. He hits a terrible drive, has to lay up on 18, and almost jars his wedge shot. Puts to like an inch, taps it in, beats List in a playoff. So good vibes for us. And God bless Shane Lowry. I think Shane Lowry is my favorite golfer now.
That's some of the craziest. I don't even know how that was possible. And like, he got away with stuff all day.
Oh yeah. Hey, I mean, you're not a big Lowry bettor, and I usually am. Whenever I bet Shane Lowry and he's 2 strokes within the lead on a Sunday, he shoots 78 and misses every 2-foot putt.
Yeah, of the high end, like the players that I just never bet, I'm telling you, like if someone had it, would probably be Russell Henley and Shane Lowry. The analytics mavens who just listen, I'm spending time betting my own losers. Like, we'll go through it. I'm going to give recycled names today. That's for goddamn sure.
Oh yeah, but we got some fun ones for Puerto Rico though.
But yeah, they're just guys. And I felt up until last year, this week, like I hadn't really gotten burned in what felt like a decade by either of them. I don't know. Shane, like, you acknowledge, like, this is his 5th major, like, not the players. He's almost like the way he treats this tournament, it's become his 5th major. I like Shane Lowry. I really like Shane Lowry, like the character, not to like the Patrick Reed level, but how do I put this? Because I'll do the jokes, like the Shane Lowry bingo, and we'll go to major weeks and he'll yell at like everyone, spectators, marshals, volunteers, tee boxes, camera people that are too close. Like, he will check even the story about him being rude to like a lady from like before Paris, the Olympics, needed a urine sample. Like, anyhow. I always acknowledge that I felt like he got a free pass while being aware that he'd won an Open championship. And I say this as like the Tommy Fleetwood fanboy. No, do you know what do parents hate the most? When like one kid is doing something and the other kid like compares to like a punishment for the other kid. No, you're your own entity. But as like the deranged Fleetwood fan, I'd be like, look what that guy does. He's like he chokes everything. Stop yelling at my guy. Oh my God, who's such a sweetheart. But that's all. I felt Lowry gets a free pass, being Rory McIlroy's chubby friend who never wins. That was bad though. And he handled it with all class too.
He did. He pulled it was good notes for your boy, Collin Morikawa, of what you do in that circumstance to get actually people to like you, despite the fact that you choked away a tournament.
And Tommy's been an expert at that. I think that's like Tommy, despite the gag jobs, he'd always be, such class. Hey, try my hardest,
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hit it into the water twice.
Me try my hardest. Yeah, that's what made the Morikawa thing like so bothersome, was that he didn't hit it in the water. Like he just got stuck in neutral on a hard golf course and got beat. And then like tripled down on being, anyhow, we don't need to like, right? Like Lowry, like I don't even understand. I don't even understand how it's possible to do what he did. But I guess once it happens on 16, 17 became that much harder. And I don't know that Nico was trying to put that shot there on 17. Pat.
He got away with it. And you need those if you're gonna win and hit a winner. It's just been so long since that stuff has broken my way that I kind of all regressed at once for me. But like I saw the Nico shot, I was like, oh no, that's tracking right for the water. Like you just saw it was like a bad slice. Like he tried to play a cut and he overcut it, and it looked like one of my iron shots, but it just cleared and then stuck somehow. And the best part about that Nico putt on 17 was the commentators even talked to us like he's like barely lining this up. He seems to know where he is. He just jarred it back of the cup with force.
Listen, we can talk about, I got a lot to say about Nico, but what was pretty clear is that mishit by Nico on 17 was probably a fact that he probably felt a little nervous, because I've been there before, and anyone that knows the grounds there, 16 green, 17 tee, 18 tee, they are on top of each other. It is a party. I'm enjoying the party when I've been there, that's for sure. But there's no way he did not know what had happened on 16, standing on 17T forever, because Stanger was in a mess.
Okay. So Stanger shot on 17. So he's playing in the group ahead. He's with, this is another thing that I want to address. Why are they calling him Castillo on the broadcast? His name is not spelled that way and makes no sense. Maybe that is how he says it, but you know how sometimes in words there's like the silent E or the silent I and you just don't say it? They're adding letters to his name and then pronouncing it. It's the exact opposite of a silent letter. It's an extra letter that doesn't actually exist. His last name is spelled Castillo, like every other person in the world that you've seen Castillo, but they're calling him Castillo and then adding an extra I after the two L's.
I would imagine that he's probably, oh my God, my hair's so like pompadour. Oh, jeez. Get this thing down. What the hell's going on here?
You didn't have your office
I'd
going?
imagine he's made a request, because I've watched enough golf and heard him called Castillo, and it was hearing everyone call him Castillo. First time you think someone, made a slip of the tongue, and then no, it was a regular thing. But yeah, Stanger's mess on 17, so Nico's standing there forever. But he knows exactly what's happening. And then someone got in a mess on 18, so Nico absolutely knew what happened standing on 17T. 18T, what just happened on 17?
Just to go back to Stanger for a second, he hit the same shot that Lowry hit on 17, except he basically hit Lowry's shot with Nico's slice and ended up on the other side of the way. It didn't get wet. It went to the other side of the water and was just sitting there. And they're like, yeah, that's out of bounds. I think it was Kisner's like, yeah, I've hit one over there. It's out of bounds. You got to go to the drop zone. Did you enjoy Lowry trying to take the lift clean in place on his drop from the drop zone?
That's the sort of shit like, oh my God. Yeah, that had to, Listen, you had to jar it. He's just asking the rules. The head is spinning, but I found that like really, really funny. I don't know. Pro golf, they're the best. Not that we should ever compare, but it's one of those things where you would just like lose your mind at your friend. I gotta drop it however you want, man. But I get it. I get it. And I don't know. I got you can relate. It doesn't matter what level of like golfer you are, even the most accomplished. It seems like after their like breakthrough win and their biggest win, the win that they'll want and remember the most is the win where your kids like can run out to you with like without any parental assistance or being like told to like you know what I mean? That seems to be the win they're all chasing. And you felt bad for Finau's kid who just like got older and older and bigger and bigger. And by the time he got to do it from the first time he should have done it, he's like a monster. Like, I don't mean that, but I just mean, man, he's a brick shithouse, complimentary way. So yeah, and Lowry's that one's gonna hurt. And what sucks the most, Pat, is like, he gets to walk in that Bay Hill locker room. And I don't know if it's like good guy culture now, but I mean, you got to eat it. Like the boys are going to razz you. Like if someone did that in Tiger's day, the next time Tiger saw them, like, oh my God, he might ask the locker room attendant for the locker beside yours just so he can like needle you about it all week. Oh, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. Maybe he'll bounce back. People bet him again. His Florida under par numbers remain strong.
And he performed well at API over the course of his career as well. It wouldn't be inconceivable that he goes back out and, I don't know if he wins API, but puts up a pretty good, maybe first round leader Shane Lowry is where we should be looking here.
This would be one of the greatest. Like Cam might know it better than me, but like Kyle Stanley blew a 7-stroke lead or something, then won the next week.
Yeah, well, what happened was that was at Farmers, and he ended up spinning the ball twice in the water on 18. Then Snedeker ends up with the win. Yeah, I believe he had a 3-stroke lead on 18 and just completely melted on the last hole. Then the next week he goes and plays in the desert in Phoenix, and that was the year that Spencer Levine kept getting caught by the cactuses and smoked a pack of cigarettes on the final 9. He blew it and Stanley ended up beating him the next week. So maybe it's the bounce back.
Yeah, this would be that's the bounce back that always comes to mind. I want to say Adam Scott won the Masters after gagging the Open. Like, I know those were like when the Open was last. I know that's not like a weak bounce back, but I thought that was like one of the all-time great bounce backs. But like in regular season golf, this would be like one of the greatest bounce backs ever. And it sets up for him. I got my own, as I would say it every week, as you would bet Shane Lowry, I got my own losers at like 40-1 to bet who never win.
I'm going back to one of my fave losers to bet this week too. Don't worry about that. Question for you, because this has happened to Lowry now so many times. Like this happened in Dubai like 2 months ago when he needed to get up and down from the bunker for par and sculled it into the water on the 872nd hole.
It Rory. Now, Rory probably thought he was fine without him. He was doing amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I had conceded. Oh, well, we got a joke about it because I actually had a Nico without ticket at 62-1.
You made that while we were on the show last week.
Yes, and I laughed at myself as the withdrawals were coming, but, I'm not the dumbest guy. Like, I knew seeing what other markets were in the normal, like seeing he was under 60 on some books that, like, that number was going to be strong, whatever, and it was a way to work around getting limited on that one book who only let me get a little, not as much as I would have wanted on the regular bet. But I was like, I thought my sweat was going to be Nico holding off, like, Smotherman and Moore for second place. And I'm like mentally convincing myself, like, okay, this is nice for Shane, jolly old lad. You get the win. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And then part of my head would have been Morikawa gets off the mat. Lowry gets off the mat. Like, what a lovely run of getting off the mat.
If that had happened, would you have bet Cantlay this week?
I mean, I would have lost more money. Like, how is Cantley still on the mat? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't know. Cantley never played here before it became elevated, right?
The API, I don't believe so. It was him or Xander who had never played it before it became
and sometimes
elevated.
they do things in unison. So I've always kind of been turned off him because, it almost feels like you're obviously here now, but and another thing about API is I probably would have lost a bet if you'd have told me how many consecutive Americans have won at API. So, I don't know, 2, 3? It's been 5 years.
Yeah, I'm going to say, it's last year. It was Henley, then Scottie, then Kitayama, then Scottie. Who won the year before that? Bryson won the year before that.
And then before that, it was 5 years of Europeans.
Yeah, Rory, Molinari.
Sorry, Leishman, not Europeans.
Yeah, internationals. Yeah, Leishman ended up winning. Day ended up winning. Yeah, that's interesting. But it wasn't, all the best players weren't there every single year. A lot of the best players were there, but not all of the best players. But most of the best international players always. Weirdly, what that has kind of morphed into is what the Canadian Open is now, where none of the top American guys play, but all of the top international guys play.
Yeah, and the Canadian Open gets the bump from this modern player. A lot of them like to play right before majors. Well, in the Tiger era, they all just copied Tiger.
Yes.
If it works for Tiger, it's I guess that's how you do it because he knows everything.
I have a question to pose to you. Ready for this? It's a Shane Lowry-esque question. Would you concede that winning an individual tournament has far more pressure and stakes on the line, regardless of how elevated, how significant that tournament is, versus the team aspect of the Ryder Cup? Because Lowry's nails in the Ryder Cup.
I mean,
we saw this with Poulter for years too, that in the Ryder Cup, it was different than him being out there by himself. I guess the ultimate question is, should Shane Lowry have gone to LIV where he could play as a team?
Listen, that putt in that cauldron of everything going against Europe that Sunday and what would have been at stake had he missed it. Although it would have been a total team collapse. He wouldn't have worn the loss.
No, but he still he played well and he made the putt that mattered. I do want to give a special shout out to Lowry for saving himself and the tournament before putting it in the water on 17 with one of the most incredible bunker shots I've ever seen.
Oh,
he had to get it to land in the rough, but close enough to the fringe that it would still trickle through the rough and then hit the slope to stop next to the hole. Because that had triple written all over it, and he saved himself that shot, which at the time was massive.
Yeah, and it would have been it was infuriating because you're of all the lucky breaks he got all day, and then he hits I guess would have felt like maybe the biggest shot of the day. Oh, yeah, that's too bad. That's a great shot that just gets lost in what happened. I don't really have an answer for that. I mean, you can point to Fleetwood as well, who just, the Ryder Cups, just dominant performance. And even him, he nutted up like Lowry to pretty much lock the other one as momentum was turning. That short par 4, I don't know, it was an incredible shot. Then that bloke jumped in the lake in France or Paris, France. I don't remember where. Yeah, I don't know. Like a joke, Lowry. I don't know. I don't know. He is the full bag. Shane Lowry, the character, I greatly appreciate because as we've lost a lot of characters, he's truly one of the great PGA Tour characters. I feel bad for anyone who's got to carry the label now that he's carrying. I don't know. The Open Championship, you'll never take it away at home. It's one of the greatest golf wins. If you I don't mean just in terms of one of the greatest golf wins since we've been doing the podcast. The guy wins his home Open, and we all remember that was supposed to be Rory's week. It was Shane's week. What an incredible situation there. But I don't know, man. Like they put up that 3 PGA Tour wins thing on the sheet because they were comparing him to Smotherman sort of as they teed off. And I mean, you do the math in your head.
I feel bad. A viewer that I'm constantly in contact with, be it on Twitter, even in the comments. Drew is always big on this, so shout out Drew. He made something that I've done before, and I think we've all done it before at one point or another, but this one's like a real kick in the nuts. He went, because I hit Smotherman first round leader, and I had the bet on Smotherman to win. He went to go make the same play, but instead of betting him first round leader, he just bet him to win twice by accident. So he didn't hit first round leader, and Smotherman comes in second. That is a brutal beat.
We've all been there.
I have done it. I've be completely honest.
Like there's so many things that I do. Like a guy's playing well. Like, did I just make sure I bet him because Monday think I bet a guy. My brain thinks I bet a guy Monday morning. Maybe I said I was going to bet him. Then I'm like, I have that heart attack. And anytime I got like Mcilroy or Rasmus and one's doing well, I always like worried that I bet the wrong one.
They both did pretty well. Last week, Cust was bragging to me. He's like, see, I know how to pick one and done. Nikolai came T9 or T6 or whatever the hell he came. I was like, Jeff and I had 1 and 2 in the one and done. So you lost ground, pal.
Oh, yeah.
I have never been happier to see my one and done pick lose, Jeff, to your one and done pick. Never before in my life.
That was pretty funny. And you kind of bullied me into it because I was going to take Nikolai Højgaard because I just said Nikolai. But I was like, I'll get crazy. Like, you're not gonna. I don't care. You could write Echeverria down for me. Doesn't threaten me. Let's go.
There you go.
I had Lowry in like the bigger one and dones because I took your advice when you had broken down as someone that's not like the true Lowry believer. Like, I'm not gonna pick him at an elevated event or the Open. So this was the best place. So I wasn't gonna pick him at Heritage. I wasn't gonna use him at Birkdale. This was the place to use him.
And I went the other way. I thought between him and Gerard and Nikolai, that they would just simply be too popular. So I used like the next guys on the list. So, and since none of them won, that was kind of the point. Like you actually need these guys to win to make it significant. Because I was 20th in the race for the Mayo Cup going into the week, and I used Rasmus Højgaard as my pick there. I was like, if everyone's using Nikolai, I'll just use Rasmus. And he was fine. But at one point when Lowry was in first, I had dropped down from 20th to like 65th. But when he ended up coming in a tie for second, I think I dropped from like 20th to 25th or something. It was basically insignificant. And I was like, that's sort of the strategy. It sucks when the super popular guy ends up winning, but he didn't end up winning, so it all worked out.
And one Nikolai could have got to like 16 under or something.
Yeah, but then they asked him to make a 3-foot putt, and that's not doable for him. You give him a 40-foot putt, he's like 50-50 on those. You give him a 3-foot putt, he's also 50-50 on those. The numbers love him.
Shout out to Brooks.
Brooks was interesting. He finally started to make some putts, but they weren't the putts that you would expect him to make. It's not like he was just stepping up and draining 12-footers. He was making like 40-foot bombs, 35-foot bombs. And every time he got closer to the hole, then it started to leak. I've seen a lot of people after the round yesterday and even early this morning betting Brooks at the Players. He was 100-1. He's already dropped to 60-1 because there's been so much movement on that market. I'm not there with Brooks yet to win the Players.
No, listen, as he even said, like he wants to be peaking for like the majors, obviously. I guess the Players is huge too. Well,
the Players is weirdly hold on. The Players is weirdly big for him this time around because if he wins it, then he's in all, he's back in the tournaments with all the people he knows, not the people he doesn't know.
100%. I'm not overreading the final result, but it is great to see like it's just a nice step forward up the ladder for him.
You know what they didn't make too much mention of on the Sunday broadcast?
I don't know.
That Nico and Taylor Moore, who played together, were college teammates.
Really? They love that stuff.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. They both got arrested when they were in college and suspended from the golf team for voyeurism. And Nico's charges got dropped and Taylor Moore had to plead guilty to it for a lesser charge. So they didn't really want to bring that one up when they were at Arkansas.
Pig Suey. We got Nico. Nico bought a house on Friday.
He promised a dog to his wife if he won, so they're getting a dog now too.
Listen, he goes out 8 hours. She got to make the final sign off. Good for them. And now they're supposed to move around the Masters. So, perfect. Lovely for Nico. I'm trying to think if there were any other takeaways for me.
I thought, listen, I got in Smotherman late. It's funny how much things can evolve throughout the course of the week, because I did the research show, and this is the epitome of golf bubble. And just reflecting on it, like, of course, like I ended up on Smotherman. I ended up on the right play with this. But when I was doing the research show, like Smotherman just kept popping up. Like he was almost on like every single one of the things that I looked at, which is usually like go time to bet someone. It's like, Smotherman kind of sucks. Everyone likes Smotherman. If his name was Austin Smith, no one would care about him, but he's the Smother Man. So people like get, pretty high and mighty with him. They like to bet him.
Big jam guy.
Yeah, and he won 3 times on Corn Ferry, and he spikes. Like, he has these awesome rounds out of nowhere, and he's been doing that for 3 years. That's how he ended up, that's how he came on the radar in the first place. But that's also how he lost his PGA Tour card at the same time. There's no consistency in his game, but he had been playing a bit more consistent. You saw some spike iron rounds. When I did the show with Blickle, he popped in the DFS optimizer for his price. He was the best guy on the board, points per dollar, the best value on the board. Even in the Rabbit Hole Simulator, I think he was like a 9th or 11th in overall win odds. I was like, what am I doing here? Just because people who cover this like me full time like this guy, that's a reason for me not to like this guy. That's really stupid. Like, and just to share, I put when you put the wins in with your buddies after the fact in the group text, one of my friends like, I've never heard of either of these guys. Oh yeah, no one knows who these guys are. This is why we still get value on them. So I'm glad I talked myself into it by the end of the week.
Well said. And these are the sort of events where there's, there might be, even Nico was on Buddy's like most tip chart. So
yeah, I think he was.
You can find good numbers.
I think he was the most
like this. Blessed we got. Lil, you've been a lot closer to sniffing one this year. I haven't been nearly as close as you, but thank God, because like to get one before Scheffler goes on fire, it seemed like there'd been an opportunity post Amex. I don't know. So finally get one feels great. And I'm just on the wins count. I'm counting it as February, not March. Because, just like to find one each month. So find one for February.
Very good week for people on DraftKings as well. Because I ended up coming third in the $6 because there was somehow 2 better 6 of 6 Lowry, Smotherman, Nico lineups out there than the one that I had, and they were like way better than the ones that I had. And that was even after my guy Marty Doe made 5 birdies on the back 9 to like get himself back up after a horrendous start on Sunday. But we had where is it? I had it pulled up. Joe Berman. Single bullet in the $25, $25, Jeff, into $100K. That's a win right there.
God damn it. Oh
Single
my
bullet.
God. Sorry for the snap, but what a...
It was the lineup basically that we made on the show, and I didn't play. It was Lowry, Gerard, and Nikolai Højgaard, so the 3 guys at the top, and he did the strategy that Blickle and I talked about was like go down low. Like if you're going to take the 3 chalk guys at the top, make sure you're different below. He went Nico, Ford, and Smotherman.
$25
it's not like
$5 into $100,000.
And the guy... Yo Legacy, also a viewer. Shout out to him. He came third. He won $50,000 in that tournament.
Oh, shout out everybody. Yes, let's go. Not gonna lie, like when those games first left this province, I tried to stay like pretty connected to them, but it's been so long, Pat, like they almost don't even like exist now. Like I wish. I miss. Although we'll be somewhere I can get in Florida, maybe.
That's right. We're going to TGL tomorrow. I'll see you in Florida.
See you in Florida. Yeah, I got a bit of an excursion. Me, I love a little Palm Beach, but yeah, go to see TGL and play a little golf. I'm worried about my elbow, but
we'll have a longest drive competition, me versus you on the TGL simulator.
No, not a chance.
Are you guys going to Fort Lauderdale?
I'm I was like, I might need a round. I was like, I might even like, would it be embarrassing? That's for like a regular shaft.
No.
I'm just worried about my elbow. But yeah, don't worry. I'll triple the first 2 holes, and then it'll be
then it'll be fine. Loosen up a bit.
Loosen up, and then I will be.
I'm gonna be bad. I'm gonna be bad when we hit the course.
That Bermuda, like I don't know. I haven't played since like October, and I love playing in Florida. But that Bermuda grass, like it is a trip for us, like Kentucky bluegrassers. But I can't wait.
I just play on Northeast POA. It's like, there's no real difference between the rough and going out to your front lawn and hitting the ball around if it's not mowed. That's the grass up here. But
once I triple the first couple holes, I'll be manicuring my lies in that Bermuda rough. I tell you, don't worry.
Yeah, just who was more infuriating? Because I had Smotherman and Nico. And I do want to get, like, if Smotherman had just made a few putts on Sunday, he probably wins. Because he actually played pretty well. He just didn't make anything. And Nico was making fucking Taylor. All I wanted to do was strap Taylor Moore to an eject seat and get him out of there. His game the entire week was horrible driving, like okay irons, and then just chipping everything next to the hole or chipping in, and then making 40-foot putts. It was infuriating to see him on 6. 6 is a great hole. The way that it played on Sunday, it was so hard to see him chip it into the water, and he could have played his ball.
Weird.
On that. And I think it was Smiley even said on the broadcast, and Smiley asked Nico, he's like, that was your ball. Would you have played? He's like, yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And then they even showed it. They showed the 2. I don't know. That was so strange. And let me say this about Nico, because there were a lot of people on him post Thursday, which seemed like it was all gravy. I wasn't paying attention, but fun to scroll. Congrats to the first round leader people. It seemed like people were getting like Nico. They felt like Nico wasn't hitting enough putts. The broadcast, since I tuned it in on Friday, all they talked about was how beautiful Nico was putting, and you could honestly see that on the misses.
It was his speed. Like when he missed by 2 inches.
Yeah, there was. I'll get to a miss on Friday in a second because I have a funny follow up to it. But I gotta tell you, Pat. People who thought he did not make enough like 11 or 12 footers on Saturday, he made like 2 or 3 insane up at par saves on Saturday. Like out of this world. When he wins this tournament, do not forget about the up and downs. And like they weren't like 30 footers, 20 footers for par.
Like 9 feet.
He was like hitting incredible chips that to like 8 feet that no one thought he'd even get to 8 feet, and hitting like all of those putts. They were so clutch. Incredible.
Like when I went into the day with Smotherman and Nico, the only thing that I really wanted from them was like, just don't miss any putts inside 6 feet. Make all of those and don't have a 3 putt, and you're probably going to win. And Smotherman couldn't do that because it was a 6 or 7, wherever it was. He rolled it from like 80 feet. He put it like 5 feet by, missed the comebacker. Like that's the end of Austin Smotherman. It seemed like he could have made a bit of a run, but he made, because I had the top 3 each way on him, which he ended up in the 2/3 split with, which was still 40-1. So that was great on Smotherman. But he made the putt on 17 from just off, which was huge, a huge par save. And then the up and down that he had on 18. He made like 2 really clutch putts on 16 and 17. It may have been 15, 16 or 16 and 17. Getting it mixed up in my mind now, but they were like 11 footers that if he doesn't make them, he's cooked. And he made them. So that was good.
Yeah. I got one more thing.
Well, can we just talk about Lowry, how he was just making everything from 40 feet for a second? Or when he topped a drive that somehow didn't go out of bounds, and then he ended up making par on the hole anyway?
I mean, the putts, like it was, even Pat, he even like skirted a bunker that he could have been in the face of, and then he hits that to 5 feet.
Yeah,
from
pops
on top
out,
of the
pops out of the bunker. He basically, it's funny because I put it out earlier on in the day, and then it actually coming to think about it, it actually did come full circle. And then after 7 holes, like he's basically playing like Spieth right now. Like this is a Spieth round, and he ended up going full Spieth by double rinsing it.
Yeah, I was proud. I liked my tweet of Spieth giving Willett the green jacket and saying it's Lowry and Nico.
So we have the Players Show next week. I'm going to have a ton of Players Championship content. Obviously, Cust is going to join us. But for the first time ever on the Golf Show, we will be doing a Cust Corner mini because I don't want to spoil it, but Cust has a new idea for golf equipment that people really need to hear.
Is it something that's like already been invented?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes he'll tell you something like, you know, a feature for a car. You'd be like, that's been in cars for like 15 years, man. Okay.
Well, last thing on the Cognizant. Can we get rid of the 1950s UFO graphics for the wind? Like it's really embarrassing. And the commentators have to be like, look at these amazing graphics. It's like this looks like Plan 9 from outer space.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, and it's in coinciding with jets in the air. It just looked like a bunch of stealth bombers flying at me. Like, which channel am I on?
Yeah, Lowry should have let the paper airplanes go on by before he hit that ball on 17. Maybe that would have helped him.
Yes, and then they're trying to show you the speed of the graphics represents the speed of the wind and how it's different at different levels. Call me a skis bot. They were all moving the same to me.
Yeah.
Call me. I could not, whatever.
If you just put
Jim
one.
must have been losing his mind about that.
I don't know if he was watching it. He said he was at a craft brewery yesterday. And then we found out that an article came out afterwards, or after he told us where he was, that in Nova Scotia, where we're at, that they just closed like 33% of craft breweries in the past 2 months because they're all going out of business.
Yeah, craft brewery. Yeah, that's not just a Nova Scotia thing. I think that seems to be all over North America.
They outlived their usefulness. Another very significant moment that maybe, listen, not a lot of people are paying attention to the Aeon Swing 5 like I am, although they do talk about it, but I don't feel like they do a good enough job of explaining it because there's real implications for it that were huge on the last hole yesterday, and they didn't really bring it up. Maybe they just didn't know what was going to end up happening. But that's how you that's the actual elevation system on the PGA Tour right now. Guys play themselves into that. They get a shot to play in the signature events. You play well in the signature events, you get your tour card, then you get to play in all the signature events. That's the ladder that you have to move up, and they don't make a big enough deal out of it. Whenever they talk about it, it's always almost like a really generic sponsors read, and they don't actually tell you what it's all about. But Keith Mitchell double bogeyed 16. He too put it in the water on 16. He just happened to do it on his second shot, and he was in, and then he fell out. He had to make birdie on 18 in order to get himself back in the swing 10. It bumped out Joel Damon by one FedEx Cup point because Mitchell made birdie, and now he's playing in the API.
I feel bad for Joel Damon.
Damon had a good week. You want to talk about, if you were concerned about people making putts, he made fewer putts than Ryan Gerard did all week. And Ryan Gerard hit a bird off the tee like Randy Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that was wild. Well, a great event. I do think they should maybe play less.
They need to keep this.
A great one.
They need to keep this course.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know. Seems like there might be some bad blood there now.
How come?
I don't know. Ever since because they had a whole operation. I don't know. They had a lot of offices there too that I think they've abandoned.
Yeah, they moved most of it either to Frisco or up to Connecticut. Golf Channel moved to Connecticut, and I think the PGA moved to Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, but it's a great course. Even as they, I don't know whether it's derogatory, but is some in the media like to refer to them as the mule class of the PGA Tour. It is such an incredible. You put anyone on that course, it's always pretty good theater.
Well, it's a good example for courses that they pick for the PGA Tour that. You have 3 holes. 15 is a bit innocuous, but 16 and 17 in particular on the bear trap when the wind gets up, there are legitimate 4-stroke swings on those holes. And no tournament is over. You can think about the Green Mile at Quail Hollow. 16, 17, and 18, 3 of the hardest holes on tour. But you're not seeing anyone make quads on those holes to completely swing a tournament. Someone might go double bogey bogey or bogey bogey bogey. It's sort of like death by 1,000 paper cuts on those holes that they're hard to birdie, they're hard to make par, but at the same time, it's to make triple, you'd really have to be bad. On these holes, like one bad shot, you're cooked.
At 15, man, I've stood at that tee box. If it's windy, like that thing is, it might not be as hard as 17, but that is a big bitch from behind when they stretch that one out. That's a big club. And what was I just going to say? It's sort of about the new world order that it seems like of golf. And while I think they should, how do I put this? There's a fine line between like playing less and like destroying the mule tier of the tour, Pat. But I think the PGA Tour would actually potentially really hurt itself if they wind back how much they play, because maybe I'm not speaking for us and who watches the show, but I feel like a lot of people who just watch golf on the weekend don't even know when they turn it on, they'll see, oh, it's that event. That's not as good.
Scottie and Rory are playing. Awesome.
But they don't know that like this weekend's Bay Hill. They're just putting on golf on the weekend the same way I put on a Blue Jays game all summer long because I know it's just there. And then they turn, oh, it's Bay Hill. This one's great. Like, so when you stop playing and you like take weeks off, people won't even sometimes know when your big ones are. And I'm not talking about the majors, but like this one as an example. If that makes any sense, if I'm making any sense.
You are, but I from what I can glean is that they're not getting rid of tournaments like this per se, but people seem to be up in arms that they are going to be the lower tier events. Like, newsflash, you just watched a lower tier event. Yeah, Lowry showed up. Everyone who was good WD'd from the tournament. This is the type of field that we're going to see at these non-upper class tournaments. I'm fine with that. Just keep running them out. I'm good.
Okay, so you just hit on a great point, because forever, what I do like about what potentially this guy, the new guy, is going to do is we grew up in an era where like there were truths that no one spoke about. Like there were just like every event was sort of we wouldn't talk about that this is an inferior event. Like you can know it. It's like some secret that everyone knows that no one talks about because they didn't want to embarrass local markets. They didn't want to embarrass sponsors. They didn't want to even reduce the chance of good players going by like giving it reduced FedEx Cup points because they just wanted to give every event its best chance to succeed. This new guy, it seems like the tour is going to be like a lot more overtly transparent with what the event is. Now we always knew what the events were, but as they sold them all almost identical. I'm not saying they were worth the same to sponsor, but from like the outside, they were portrayed as equal up until we got signatures, which changed it. And don't you forget, Pat, when we first got signatures, they said they were going to rotate. Now, I'm not giving them a hard time. You want them where you want them. And like, there's certain ones that were never going to be a signature. But I think there's been one I think only Travelers rotated once. Might be the only thing. Phoenix was one time. There's been one rotation of these things, and they said they would rotate them.
And Cust still believes that they are rotating them based on what he told us. It's like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Any day now, Pat. Any day.
Any day. The John Deere, like he's like, I can't wait for the Canadian Open to be a signature event. I got some tough news for you.
Well, that one we've talked about, Manny, how it's a national open and they have the amateur. That one would never be its own thing, but any of them, yeah. To think you were an event that like ever thought, it is kind of funny. Okay, I got one more thing.
Yeah,
we can move on.
Let's keep fighting. Listen, I did not go through the like I think it ended up the total. I stopped counting after a while once we got over 100. The people who shared their Nico tickets or Smotherman top 10, top 5, whatever it might be. A lot of people won money this week. I forgot how fun this is to do when we actually
A lot of people
win.
have Lowry too, Pat, because like you said, we're on the other side of our decision. The moment those withdrawals came in, they're like, I'm betting Shane Lowry 19-1. He might be not have a dog, but like, I don't want to say CLV, but this is just going to be like, that's my decision. I know a lot of people.
And it's a decision that we talked about on this show last week, that exact decision. Because once they started withdrawing and the Lowry number was still hanging, it's like, well, it's a pretty good number for Shane Lowry at this point. But I can empathize with anyone who had their outright winner come in second after losing in devastating fashion. This is the most devastating loss of the year, however. But it's not like we haven't been through this before, Geoff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking it wasn't as bad. Fleetwood's to Keegan's last year was just so bad.
Especially when you saw the ball hit the rock and then go to the right on the winning putt. Like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. So we're old school, Pat. And this goes out to the originals, but this is for the hardcores. You'll feel me right now. Back in the day, you could like get on PGA Tour radio commercials. We could sing songs, put out a CD, pay a couple $100. We'd have a commercial on PGA Tour radio. Awesome. Obviously, that's changed. It's like big corporate now.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Some of
That
it
is not true.
No, there's a lot more big corporate because hear me out, Pat. That being said, you know, I say like sometimes a missed 5-footer can tilt me. So it's like Friday, Nico misses, or Saturday, Nico bogeys 17 or whatever. I'm frustrated. The first commercial they pull out of the gate, it's life insurance. Some woman's husband just died. She's now alone with her 2 kids. Okay. And I'm upset that a dude missed an 8-footer. What a reality check. Oh man, did that thing like snap you right back into orbit. I'm like, okay. Thank you. Needed that because I was tilting a putt. So yeah, they got these new, I think it's Ethos Insurance.
Oh, but here's the thing. I think these are all like C- grade life insurance companies.
Oh, probably.
Because
sure.
the one that I've noticed the most is, what if you wake up tomorrow and society has completely collapsed? What will you do? They're selling like that shit that Cust was eating on the show, like the rations.
Really? That's like from the Rumble commercial inventory.
Well, here's the thing. The PGA Tour Radio has an awful lot of rumbly type ads now.
Okay. Anyway, I usually I don't even like hear them anymore because they're all repetitive, but I did catch myself instantly, like miss the putt, commercial, first commercial. This woman lets me know it's tragic. Like, you know, her husband just passed. She's got like 2 young kids. I don't need okay, you know, whatever. It's a good like, okay, your putt didn't matter, pal. You'll get over it. The only thing I'm also upset about is I could have hit Nico to win twice if I was paying attention to that website on Monday because I had bets in.
What do you mean?
They were given the payouts.
Oh, yeah. So that happened last week. The people were cashing out $20K. Someone had $5 on Justin Hicks to win at like 5,000
so
to
Pizzola
1.
knew one of those guys. And my question that I asked Rob was like, this is what I just don't understand. Like, I've got like, you know me, I got to make like, you know, $4 $17 like Nico tickets, whatever. Or, my point being is like that guy bet Justin Hicks. Like that wasn't like, I know DraftKings has an error, I'm going to take advantage of it. That was, I'm betting Justin Hicks for a 5-chip out of the gate on Monday morning. That is insane.
Well, there's probably people that look at the guy who is the longest odds in the field and bet him $5 every week. That's probably a thing. Or someone knows that, I mean, I set the over-under on 2.5 hours after Bridgman's win that he would withdraw. And he waited till the next morning. People probably looked at him like, a lot of these guys are probably going to pull out. Let me see what happens here. And DraftKings made the fatal error that instead of taking down the market,
which they did it first.
Because on the show they did it first, but then they reopened everyone at minus 10,000 to avoid anyone making any other bets.
And I'm driving downtown to record with Pizzola, and I know the withdrawals are coming. And you know me, I'll sometimes get a, and I just look and I see their minus. I saw the DraftKings odds when they were minus 10,000, but this pea brain did not connect to going to his open bets and what that could mean. I didn't. I was at a red light, minus 10,000. Everyone, that's like a strange, I guess that's how you get no one to bet. Clearly, I did not realize the derivative of that, which was a fat thumb away. So yeah, that's, I joked with Pizzola. If I wasn't in the car, I would have caught that. I would have, because I eventually would have been back and forth in that time, especially with draws coming. But now I can joke with Pizzola, and I hit the winner. You don't owe me anything.
You don't need to look too far, because I know a lot of people who were watching the show had that exact same thing happen to them. I even spoke with a few of them that cashed out their money and got their money out. I do believe that some of the bigger ones, that when the people tried to withdraw the money, the DraftKings was like, nah, sorry, pal.
Yeah, that goes. I mean, listen, because they are, they pride themselves. They're in this contest, this pissing contest, these sports books that, we'll withdraw the fastest. So, that's, some people got that money out. Like, I don't mean like once you hit withdraw, it can hit your bank account the fastest. And to my understanding, I don't even think they put people in negative balances.
No, but
I think they just accepted that they screwed up. I think
they did, but I think on some of the larger ones, when people tried to withdraw $12,000, because once you get up to a certain limit, withdrawing money, it's like it's a manual review, and people are like, "Where the fuck did they get this $12,000 from?" It's like, "Oh, that was an error." So if you did it for like $2,500, $4,000, and just like quick out, you got your money. And your account's probably nuked, but what do you care at that point?
Listen, the way that they make me dance around getting my bets in, I would nuke the DK account that I have for a golf winner.
Yeah, for $5,000, you'd nuke your DK account.
Yeah. There's some people that like what start,
I would too, in fairness.
But like the one that I'm not talking like, sure, if you got like some super VIP account and you are able to get like pro bettors to hook you bets, sure, maybe you don't. But oh my God. So I just know that those guys that bet Justin Hicks, that was a bet on Justin Hicks. That wasn't like the system is screwed up, I'm going to bet the worst guy and then get paid for it. They just wanted the worst guy. The same time we were discussing Niergaard Pedersen. Incredible. And then good for them. Their own AI or their own back end bites them. Like, I don't know, man. Good for you. No wonder their stock is in the fucking shit.
Hey, that's costing me a lot of money, pal.
Oh, yeah. I guess a few people sorry about that. Rebound. It'll always rebound.
We gotta
wait till market. It always
you wait till March Madness is coming. Stock will go up $7. Sure. That'll be good. Then it'll go down a little bit, and then we'll get to week 1 of NFL, and then it'll go up like $30 because that's what happens every year. Those two events coincide. The stock magically goes up. Shocking when people are just pumping money into gambling sites for like two of the bigger betting events of the season. The other PGA ad, I can't remember if this was radio or TV. It's like brain medication. I was like, man, I'm really dreading the day when I like age into needing to know what these ads are. They're all really, like you mentioned life insurance. They're all golf ads are super depressing.
Yeah. Unless like unless the only I guess, cause nice cars and like Rolex will like advertise too in golf, but that's surrounded by like dick pills, heart medication, life insurance. I don't know, refinancing your home.
Reverse mortgage. Get one. Tom Selleck will tell you.
And then you won Nick Faldo selling you a golf trip.
Yeah,
Right,
or a jet experience with Sir Nick
but that's the
Faldo.
thing. Like Golf Channel's still like a specialty cable channel, so you're really just going to see the same 6 commercials like on all the specialty cable channels, right?
I was thinking, I want to look into this. I wonder how much it is to buy ad time. That feels like it would be a good marketing move for the Pat Mayo experience. Should I buy ad time? I'll start with PGA Tour Radio and maybe move up to Golf Channel. It can't be that much.
I would start. Yeah, I mean, the radios are the true sickos.
Yeah, but those
Even
are people,
my kid
listen,
who like
if you are listening to golf on the radio, you are the prime demo to watch this show.
Yeah. Even my like 9-year-old who knows daddy watches sports, daddy will listen to the ball game on the radio. She said she was in the car. I was listening on the weekend. It's like, I don't understand like anything these people are saying. And of course, like, why would she? It makes no sense. Who the hell is listening? Obviously, like, sure, like Rory, the end of a Masters or something. Like, whoever cares about golf enough to listen to it on the radio? We do.
And people don't know that if you just open the PGA Tour app, go to watch, there's a free Sirius stream in real time. Some people they just have never looked underneath that tab. If you're ever in need of just like streaming some golf, and they have some like, I like Will Haskett. Will Haskett's been on the show before. Canada's own Mark Zucchino, who had to sneeze while he was doing a call on the 6th hole yesterday, which was pretty funny. Jeff Eisenbland was on 2 weeks ago.
No, good smooth baritones. I like it. It's an enjoyable.
Jeff did a really good job. I haven't heard him on all that often. He usually does the ESPN like Plus, like at PGA, those streams. He usually does those, but he was on the radio at RIV and he was really good. It was nice to have someone who was more. We're not young, but if we were on a golf broadcast, we would be like children. So it was nice to hear someone who was our age be on there rather than a bunch of like 60-year-olds.
Yeah, I've always said the radio does such a great job. I know they've sort of handcuffed them a bit, and they still, do a great job.
Well, especially when you have people on the course, I find they're far more realistic in what they're telling you. Like especially some of these shots from the rough yesterday at PGA National. Dan Hicks is like, man, this is like, I don't know how he could even sniff the green from here. And then he lofts it to 25 feet. On the radio, they're like, yeah, it might be a bit of a flyer live. Like, this isn't all that bad at all. He can make this. So, like, they're realistic about the actual, it's sort of like the reverse Johnny Miller, where Johnny Miller said that every lie was the easiest lie because he could do it. Therefore, everyone should be able to hit it to an inch. It's the opposite now on the TV broadcast, where everything that's in the rough is the most impossible lie in the world. On the radio, they do a better job of giving you more insight to that, I feel like. Like, yeah, like he could catch a flyer. He might hook this because it's a little bit above his feet. But overall, like he drew a pretty good lie here for the circumstances.
What the radio does, Pat, is, they are looking at the, they'll tell you like how many guys have been there today. Like this spot of bother off the fairway. Oh, we've seen like you said, you shouldn't have any problem getting it on the green from here. 4 guys have been here. Like, most of them have gotten it to like just outside 35 feet. Like they reference when guys are in the bunk, they tell you like how many guys have like gotten up the up and down numbers from like these identical spots. I don't think they do that on the television.
They don't. And they actually have, because I've been tweeting it out more and more because I got access to the back end of ShotLink finally after years and years of asking for it. So they'll probably take it away from me now. But like all that information is there for everyone who has access to it. And I guarantee you the TV broadcasters do. It's like one click of a tab and you can get everything instantly in front of you.
Yeah. So I always sort of appreciate that. I think that's the best way to tell me what are the chances of my guy like getting out of here with a par. I mean, obviously the things are like lie can be very different from 5 inches beside each other, but I think it's as good of a reference. Radio guys always crush it. Will's great. Great.
Zucchino has that, what I would consider for us to be the iconic Nick Taylor call that they always play. They don't show I think it was Nance who was doing it.
It was Nance.
They don't show the TV when they reference the call and they play the audio. They don't use the Nance call. They use the Zucchino call at the hole from Oakdale of him calling it for Nick Taylor because he got fired the fuck up when he made the putt.
Yeah. Zucchino, yeah. I mean, when you're listening to Zucchino, though, every putt you think is going in from 5 feet away.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it's right. Oh, it missed 2 feet to the right.
But again, I think they do as like a junkie. I love it.
And it's the one thing that the PGA Tour does to give you access to everything else is so hard to find. It's all fragmented. You need 8,000 subscriptions. They're like, you know what? You don't even need a series subscription. You can just stream it off our app for free.
Yeah, or even when, there's the downtime between the networks. I know we're lucky here, but just shoot on the radio.
Oh, did you see someone tweeted it at me? I don't know if you saw it, that the targeted ad, I think it was Mike Terrell who ended up putting it out, that on the app, you know how they always have like 5 guys, then there's an ad, then the rest of the guys. Yeah, and it was for Scheffler and someone, and they made Scheffler look like he weighed 300 pounds in this picture. It was fucked.
I saw you tweet that. I laughed, or you retweeted it. I thought you were going to talk about the ad that we're getting now.
The problem gambling ads.
March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month, so you're gonna, we got big events, Bay Hill, like Problem Gambling Awareness Month. Maybe don't. There's 3 tournaments I'm gonna bet on this week.
It's true. Well, we're gonna get to those 3 tournaments. We got API. We got what else do we got? Puerto Rico Open. We got LIV Hong Kong. If you want the Joburg Open. The Sky and Tom will have the DP World Tour picks out later on Monday on Mayo Media Network. If you're listening to the audio feed, this is the end of part 1. So please download, rate, review, and tune in to part 2, where we make the picks for these tournaments. If you're watching up on YouTube or any of the video versions, stay tuned. Underdogs expanding the game. You already know their player picks. Pick higher or lower on player stats. Today, Underdog prediction markets are live in 25 states. Back your squad with spreads, handicap for closer game, or totals, higher, lower combined score, combined with player picks for bigger payouts. New customers play $5 on fantasy, get $75 in fantasy bonus entries. Code Mayo. Team picks, player picks, all on Underdog. Here's the thing. Endurance athletes never talk about this, but heavy lifting and training can quietly wreck sexual performance. Long cardio, high cholesterol, bad sleep, under recovery, it all hits the same systems that control blood flow and hormones. And when circulation drops, performance drops everywhere. Most guys reach for stimulants or prescriptions, but that's a blunt fix way downstream. Nitric oxide is the master switch for blood flow, endurance, and longevity. Once you understand that, Joy Mode makes total sense. If you want to support sexual performance the same way you should support training and recovery naturally and intelligently, Joy Mode has got a deal for my listeners. Go to tryjoymode.com/mayo or enter mayo at checkout for 20% off. Joy Mode, the electrolyte packet for your dick. I've been splitting it into 2 shows because it doesn't turn on the auto downloads if it goes over an hour. So if we do 2 shows, they automatically get downloaded. Rigging the system here, Jeff. Trying to get them ad bucks. I don't think people really mind. If people really mind, let me know that the audio is broken into 2. If not, just give this one to me. Help us out here.
Yeah, give it to us.
Yeah, we need it. In this fragmented economy, Jeff, we need it. API. Bay Hill, I've already done the research show. Obviously, Scottie has won 2 of the past 4 years. He wins every other year. Kitayama, as I mentioned, won 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Henley won a year ago, chipping it on the 16th hole to beat Morikawa. Ran him down in the final round. Do you have any instant reactions to the top odds on the board? Because Scottie's at 3-1, and now we've seen that Rory has been under 10-1. Some places he's 8, some places he's 9. I'm using coolbet.com. If you're in Canada outside of Ontario, use coolbet.com. You can even hit the description, get yourself a bonus down there as well. Plus, I already have a boosted bet up on Coolbet right now. Matt Fitzpatrick, 30-1 is what they will give you as a boost. He is down to 22-1 in some spots already.
Yeah, I mean, we've been betting Fitzpatrick hard, and now I feel like if I get back on this week, I'm going to be on next week. I feel like most of the guys I bet this week, like, I don't know, probably going to be familiar names, and I probably feel like I'm going to commit to them next week as well. I feel like this is like a 2-4.
Ooh, I can see myself switching it up a little bit. Of note, Cust went through the elevated events so far this year. Do you remember the two people he picked in one and done for the elevated events?
Hitsune.
Yep. That's one.
Hitsune.
And JJ Spawn, who I believe came second to last. So he's using Rory this week as his one and done.
I mean, okay, it's time.
Good pick.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either. It's just hilarious that he used like two losers compared to the field in the first two elevated events. And,
but it is now time.
Like I used Rory at Genesis. Get that cash in the one and done. Use the good guys in the one and done at the elevated events. Do you have any interest in betting Rory or Scottie at these numbers, 3 and 9 to 1?
No. Maybe Rory. Is Scottie 3 times more likely than Rory to win?
I don't think so, but I think like simulations might tell you that that's
You're probably right. Here's the problem with Scottie. It's like my brain is almost like giving him one of the next two events.
Yeah.
I'm still like gonna bet around it, but I'd be very surprised as you could be in golf, for someone to not win one of two events this weekend, the Players.
We can probably finagle our way around it. I'm not playing anyone in this field without that top 3 each way, just like I did last week. So my bet is, I've also bet the 30 to 1 on Cool Bet under the PME exclusives tab to win at 30 to 1. I also bet him 33 to 1 with 3 places as well. It was the first thing that I did when I woke up this morning, and the odds have already gone down from there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the 3 places thing, I'm only sort of would be interested in doing in Scheffler events if I ever did them.
Listen, it paid off on Smotherman last week.
Yeah, listen, congrats.
And it got his number from like 175 to 300 to 1, which was helpful.
I do not understand these people. Why they don't let me bet. Yeah, I mean, Fitz, he makes so much sense. We spoke last week, just sort of looking ahead to this, remembering that when the year Molinari won, how it felt like he was battling with Rory, and then they all kind of fell apart, and Molinari took it. It's always, I've probably bet him here like maybe 3 times in the last 5 years. So
he was the only guy the year that Hatton won. Remember how brutal it played Saturday and Sunday, that I think Hatton played the final 2 rounds 5 over par and he still ended up winning. Fitz was the only guy that weekend to break 70 at the scores. Here's the thing. And this is all in the full write-up. If you sub to the newsletter, you can get the full write-up and get all the details. I went over this on the research show as well, but in jot note form. Fitz has never been on a better ball striking run in his career than he is right now. Is driving and irons better than when he won at Heritage, the US Open, over in Europe, whatever it might be. He has never drove the ball and hit his irons this well for an extended period of like 4 tournaments in his life. So he's not going to keep this up forever. So let's try to capitalize. Well, we strike while the iron is hot with him.
You think he's the most popular non-Scottie Rory one and done?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like he's going to be, when Golf Tips Checker comes out on Wednesday, Fitz will be the most bet on guy. 100%. But looking back, he has played this tournament each of the past 10 years, and we've seen him be cripplingly bad on the green so far this year. So there's a few things that could do this. And it's not even that he's losing strokes putting. Like he's lost 8 of his past 13 rounds so far this year on the green. Like, whatever. Like, guys lose strokes putting, and you lose a few here, you lose a few there, you can get them back. Like, Nico was terrible on the greens on Friday, for example. And then he turned it around on the weekend, it was fine. He didn't lose that much over the course, where someone like Smotherman just had a bad putting performance each of the final 2 days. The rounds that Fitz is losing on the greens, he's losing over a stroke to the field. Like, he's not only just, like, slightly bad, he's really bad. And over the final 2 rounds at the Genesis, he lost almost 6 strokes putting in those 2 rounds. Well, the ball striking remained pretty amazing. He was putting from 11 feet every hole and missed all of them every single time. Now, he's played this tournament each of the past 10 years. You know what he has never done at the API, Jeff?
Lost strokes putting.
Lost strokes putting in any of those 10 tournaments. So if there's ever a place for him to get right putting to match that ball striking, it's got to be here.
Yeah. Bet Every Day had a nice boost on him this morning too.
Yeah, they did. And it went down, and then I think it went back up because I was eyeing it as well. Yeah. It went from 30.
Now Cool Bat might be the leader in the house.
Listen, Cool Bat's where you need to be. If you're in Canada, outside of Ontario, I cannot stress this enough. You want quick payouts, fastest in the biz at Cool Bat. And I have a Puerto Rico boost up there as well when we get to that.
Like last week was so much fun because it's like
we won.
So many different things. No, I mean, doing the show, thinking about who we're going to bet because it's just such like a new... Just like it's just all different guys and just like, you know, taking content, seeing what other people are doing, you know, like the amount, like just so much going on this week. Like, I don't know, my brain get into these events and I'm always thinking about like the same 8 people. And I'm sure every listener of ours could like figure it out. And 8 might be a stretch. So I don't know.
I have 3 bets.
I don't trust any of them to actually beat Scottie if they were battling him either.
Well, here's the interesting thing about Scottie. He's not Scottie right now. He's Spieth. He's Spieth from post when Spieth was good. He's doing everything with chipping in and putting.
He's not essentially like Scottie, or he's just not Scottie on.
He's not 3-1 on the odds board, Scottie, right now. He's like 16-1 Scottie on the odds board that we used to get 3 years ago. That's how he's playing at the moment. Now, I'm with you. It feels like we're going to snap our fingers and Scottie's going to be Scottie and he dummies people, and this is the perfect course for him to do it. Any course that plays relatively hard is, I've always found to be a better Scottie course. They started reeling off wins at CJ Cup and Amex to go along with everything. But we do forget that Scottie didn't win until May last year. Yes, he could cut his hand in the offseason, but it's not like he wasn't playing in the Masters or the Players or at API, but there's something off with his irons. Like when you think about Scottie, even that time that Jaeger, your boy, Jaeger, ran him down at the Houston Open, it was just a bad putting performance from him that cost him. He missed that like 3-foot putt on the last hole that would have got him into the playoff. But the takeaway from that week, I vividly remember it, was every iron shot he hit, whether it was at the pin or it was slightly right or it was slightly left, was at the pin. Every single iron shot he hit was the perfect distance, and it stopped where it needed to stop from any distance. It wasn't always the most accurate, but he wasn't like missing greens. It was the difference between 5 feet and 25 feet, but hole high every single time. There was no flying the green or coming up short. This is what we're seeing from Scottie right now. That iron crispness that separated him from everyone else in the world simply is not there right now. Can it come back starting in round 1 this week? Absolutely. This is the terror of betting into Scottie. But all data and watching him would tell you that he's just not doing it right now.
Yep. Okay, that's the only pep talk I need. I mean, not that I was ever betting him. I was going to step in front of him with these, you know, these 4 or 5 guys anyway. But okay, yeah, if he's not playing well, let's just...
Well, okay, not playing well is a relative...
No, he's not like 3-1. He's not... He's being priced. It's the... I understand what you said.
Okay.
I understand what you said.
Like he should
I understand.
Even at his lesser quality, he should still be the betting favorite in this field. But... it's a different, he should be closer. Like, honestly, like if you were to objectively make this, kind of think if Scottie hadn't won here 2 of the past 4 years, based on the way that they've been playing so far this year, Rory should probably be the favorite.
Okay. Go Rory.
Now, I'm not betting either of them, so what's it to me? And then you look foolish when they come 1-2 on the leaderboard, but this is where we're at.
No, that's okay. That's, I actually don't feel foolish when they come 1 and 2 on the leaderboard. I wasn't going to bet them. I like having fun, even though, like, you know, most would say I don't build, not really building a card as I'm much, you know, it's sometimes beholden to certain players, but I'm enjoying myself. And maybe that's just easy to say after a win. I won't feel dumb if they come 1 and 2. In fact, Pat, we said it a lot. For how good they've both been, for how long they've both been good since like Scottie started his window. They've never actually battled.
I would like to see a Rory. If somehow we talk about this every year, what's the optimal pairings at the Masters? But let's just even say the players. You can get some sort of Rory Scheffler on the go and see if you can get Bryson in there for the Masters. It'd be like, oh, like we got Rory Bryson last year at the Masters. People forget that because Bryson played so terribly in the final round. But like that's what the PGA wants. That's what the Masters wants right there. That's what viewers want.
That's what the viewers want.
Cust picked Rory. He was very much considering picking Jacob Bridgman because he's hot right now. Cust must have found out who Jacob Bridgman was 2 weeks ago. And he's like, this guy's great.
There's no way. Whatever. There's no way.
So
Tommy, too. I'd love to bet some Tommy, but, you know.
Yeah, Tommy and Xander are in this weird middle range. So it's Scottie, then Rory. Then it's Fleetwood, then Xander, 18 and 22. Then it's Fitz at 24. Again, the coolbet.com boost up to 30 is the best number on him right now. Then you're into like the 30s. Morikawa, Hideki, Henley, Cam Young, Harris English, Cantlay, McIntyre, Siwoo, Goddard, Knapp, Kitayama, Hovland are all 30 to 40 to 1 at the moment. It seems a bit steep on all of them. Weirdly, I was talking myself into Siwoo here because Siwoo kind of fits the trajectory of a lot of the guys that have been winning. Like he and Hideki have just been around in every tournament, and you just need one of these Sundays to go their way and they win.
So why is Knapp here?
Because so I ran my model on the rabbit hole. Just want to make sure that I get this correct here. I believe that he came, let's see. Knapp is 8th in the model. He's just behind Ricky Fowler, who's shockingly playing pretty good golf right now. But Knapp is, I feel like he is the ideal fit for this course. Like everything that he does well is what you want to do here. He's long, but he hits it straight. His long irons are really good. He's not the best around the green player, and dude is putting the lights out right now.
Yeah, just seeing him win this cluster. I've even seen some books like 40s, like as high as I've seen. So I've seen him even like lower than that. That sort of just caught me off guard. It's like, oh, the books don't want me touching that.
But it's where he was at Genesis as well. But in my mind, I don't see anything different between, and this is probably a ludicrous statement, but like Nikolai Højgaard is almost double the price. I think Nikolai is actually a better player. I think that Knapp is closer to Pearson Coody than he is, and I think Pearson Coody's good. That's why I say this. But like the difference between Goddard and Knapp, I think Knapp's closer to Coody than Goddard.
I would agree. I mean, I'd look right through Knapp at these numbers. No offense, great player, but just this, I don't know. Jake Knapp, cardigan season, I'd be surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be. I think Hideki seems strong. I think Collin could be a lovely play. Right back, the scene of the crime for Collin. I don't know, over 30 to 1. That doesn't seem bad at all.
Like does it shock you more that Knapp is 35 to 1 or Kitayama is 35 to 1?
I guess. I mean, you could look a little harder for Kitayama, but I don't know. Kitayama was just piercing it beautifully last time I watched him golf. That much I know. And
he's won at this tournament before. Like I understand why the odds are there, but then you just go a little bit below Kitayama and Hovland, who are both just below 40, to above 40. It's Griffin, Scott, Ludwig, Rose, McNeely, Minwoo, Burns. Justin Thomas is back, Ricky Fowler, Shane Lowry. Like that's your next range of guys. I don't see that much difference in those guys than some of the guys that are sub 40 to 1.
Isn't there a strong correlation between like good links golf and winning here?
I think there's just a strong correlation between being a really good player and winning here, honestly.
That is probably fair. That's probably fair.
Good in the wind, because sometimes the wind can make such an impact here. And I referenced the weather report, the Orlando Executive Airport on Windfinder is what I'm using. It's going to be windy, but not cripplingly windy, it looks like. That can always change. We're miles out from the tournament as we're speaking right now. But I got to get my bets in before I go to Florida, so I really need to up the timeline
yes. Here. I was thinking about that. I can't lollygag.
But this is odd coming from me. So I know you're going to be on board. I think because I can get Ludwig up to 70
Done.
with those
Done.
three places.
I've already made the bet. So let's go. I mean, that's the bet I've made. That's the bet I've made. Well, seemed like other than he did Scottie last week. He had a horrible first round. Then it seemed like he had a nice event. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely, that's exactly what I saw. So obviously he was dealing with either injury or sickness or whatever the hell happens to him at the end of January every single year happened to him again. But the final 3 rounds at API, 1.6 on approach, 0.3 on approach, 0.84 on approach, gaining back off the tee. He was putting again. And we've just seen so many guys who've won Torrey Pines play really well here. And he won at Torrey Pines last year. That it seems like a reasonable buy. Listen, you're not buying that low because his overall odds right now are 45. 50 is the highest I've seen on him. But if you play that 3 each way, you can get him up to 70 with the 3 places. And I like having the 3 places on Ludwig, honestly. That versus guys, he has slipped. Like he and Mav McNeely are basically the same odds. He and Minwoo Lee are essentially the same odds. Well, I think that Victor is wildly overrated. I don't think that he should be behind Jake Knapp and Kurt Kitayama on the betting board either.
I know you haven't thought about an angle that I've thought about, Pat.
Hit me with it.
I don't know. I don't know the exact rosters, but
the Seminole thing?
No, that's today. But we're going to see Ludwig at TGL, I think, tomorrow night.
No, that's tonight. The Bay plays tonight, unless they're playing again tomorrow night.
I think there's like double head. The back end of the schedule is pretty stacked, but I think it is. I think it's Bay and the Jupe.
I thought that was tonight.
No, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, then yeah, we'll see Ludwig there. Ludwig, Minwoo, and Wyndham Clark versus Homa, Tom Kim, and Kisner. That sucks. I want to see Akshay. Why are we getting Kisner? Why can't we get Akshay? He's on that team.
I don't know how that works, but yeah. So there,
we'll ask him. We'll ask him if he's gonna win.
I'm not gonna pick him after I look him in the eyes. Like I'm not gonna pick him.
All right, I'll bet him too. How about that? Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I got a 50.
There we go. You got a 50. Yeah, I'm gonna bet it with that 3 each way. Now that the 3 each way is running hot for me, got to stick with it. And it's all thanks to you, Geoff. Yeah, 66-1 is the number on Ludwig.
What's thanks to me?
Because you were the one who brought it up. You got me to ask Blickel about it.
Oh, well, yeah, I think it's I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's very like case by case specific.
It is, but what he did find that the extra money that you get on the outright odd, because it gets boosted up. Like in this instance, it went from
it eats
40.
It
went from 45 to 66. That's more than worth it for what you might try to give up with the 2 places in the 5 market.
And I would say an event like this where there's Scottie, I would be more tempted at this. Like I would have never done it last week, and credit to you for cashing. Like not in a million years would I have done it last week. But yeah, this week, yeah, maybe we'll give a spin over to beteveryday.com.
The other ones to look at again in this range. Do you have any interest in Justin Thomas making his return?
No,
I don't either.
I'll tell you what, I've actually wondered why are players making their returns like they just want the guaranteed 4 rounds is why they're returning.
This is not this is not a guaranteed 4 rounds. There is a cut line. Top 50 in ties. Top 50 in ties. They didn't even have so Riviera had the 10 strokes rule with the top 50 in ties. There is no top 10 rule or within 10 rule here. It's just top 50 in ties straight up.
Yeah.
Every tournament. Take note. Shockingly enough, of the signature events, you know which ones people like the most? Riviera, Bay Hill, and Memorial. Yes, they're really good courses, but they also have a cut line that creates a little bit of interest on a Friday. There'll be one guy. Scottie had to make a 9-footer to make the cut at Riv.
I was cheering for those 1-overs to get axed on Friday. That would have left because then we're going over 80 bodies into a weekend, and they wanted to play early. We're blessed. I'm always cheering for whatever we can get close to 65 weekend bodies. That I cheer for that. I'm sorry, I'm not in the games anymore, as we spoke up at on the other part. So I'm not invested. So I just want the smaller weekends.
And listen, when I start breaking down the cut line when it comes. I know some people aren't for it. I don't need you to send me what Data Golf says. Here's the fun fact about Data Golf and their cut line shit. It's always fucking wrong. Like their percentages are so off because they don't they don't run in real time and they don't contextualize how things are actually playing that day. They can't unless someone is manually updating the model. They can only take in historic stuff. So they're going back and looking at long-term stuff at PGA National, and on Friday, it was just playing easy. Like, guys were making birdies. Like, it wasn't going to stay at +1. They're like, oh, yeah, +1, 79%. And then, like, 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, yeah, 2%. Well, it couldn't have been that. Now, could it? It couldn't have been 80% 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people know it and use it as like a resource and not like the beholden.
No. I think there are a few people who use it as a resource because that's what it's really good at, using it to make and inform your decisions because it has the data up there. But people will treat these percentages that they give out like gospel, and they're never fucking right. I even talked to a quant about this because because we had kind of the same thing, and like he's a former like mini tour high-end golfer, but he also has like a PhD in economics and can run these quant models. He's like, everything they do is completely wrong. He's like, you see too many guys even on Sunday, like they probably had, I don't know what Lowry's odds were to win, 4-stroke lead, 3 holes to go. Yes, he's going to be a sizable favorite. Was he a 99% favorite? As he told me, he's like, look, you can run a model to tell you that he would be a 99% favorite to win. We just happen to see all these 0.1 guys win on the PGA Tour from that circumstance. It happens far more often that you need to make some sort of adjustment to say that it's clearly not 99. There's too much danger out there. Because his point was with JJ Spawn, making the turn at the US Open last year. He's like, I made a bunch of money on JJ Spawn. He's like, because I created a win probability model that finagles it a bit, just knowing that weird stuff happens in golf that you can't quantify. Throw that variable into the mix. They had given JJ Spawn a 0.2 chance of winning the US Open at the turn when he was playing terrible. And he's like, oh, I had him at like 1.8%. He's like, that's a massive fucking difference.
Yeah. I see it.
So that was the whole point of like, directionally, it is correct. The percentages are fugazi, whatever it is.
I have a buddy who's hit some huge live long shots at some of those, and he always like giggles at what Data Golf is saying.
It's no different than strokes gained. Like strokes gained isn't great. It's just kind of the best we got. And Data Golf is kind of the same way. It's good. It's the best we got. Not awesome.
So, can you help me lose less money here? Because you're just going to name a couple, normal characters.
From this range, or are we going to the next range?
No, we're still in this range. Like, California or West Coast didn't treat Cam as some people thought, but what do we think about Cam around here? Or even Victor?
Prefer Cam to Victor. Do not like Cam at 33 to 1.
Okay, well.
I'd rather bet Ludwig at the higher number.
Yeah. But you could just find a little bigger Cams. But yeah, like I said, Hideki, Morikawa, Cam, Ludwig.
At that price point, I prefer Morikawa and Hideki over Cam. They're close.
Fitzpatrick's in my mix too, but Ludwig's the only one that's already chambered up.
I already bet. Fitzpatrick was the first thing I did when I woke up this morning. So that takes a couple of these guys out of play for me too, depending on what I do. Like if somehow there's like a Rory boost to 16 to 1, I would probably bet that.
And then I feel like so many of these guys, and you could say it's probably even for the guys that we have mentioned, even someone like Fitzpatrick, whatever. I look at these guys at 50 just above, and I'm like, these numbers are not big enough. There's a guy or two in there that I do like, and it wouldn't be hard to guess, but I just like, how am I not getting more for this guy to win at Bay Hill?
So are you
like Minwoo Lee?
So you're talking about the 50. I have no interest in any of these 50s guys. Like
they're fine. They're not. They should be more. It feels like it's the worst. You can laugh at like some of the other bets. Even people mock Fitzpatrick at 30, whatever. This subset here to me is like the worst priced guys on the board.
I agree. So the winner is most definitely coming from this range.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
How that
get
works.
Your inflated Kitayama or Scott number. I'm not betting these. Lowry, we mentioned the bounce back. it'll be tough pill to swallow if you bet him last week. If you didn't bet him last week, like, I don't know, maybe you want to step in. I'm not. I'd bet a loser like I got my own loser like Minwoo Lee if I'm making a bet here.
Yeah, Minwoo he's playing better, and the approach play for Minwoo is actually really good. I would feel weirdly, although you'd think on paper this course sets up so much better for him than next week, I would prefer him next week.
Both. But yes, I agree. But even these, like,
I like
Straka, like there's some
that's in the next range.
Okay, sorry. Well, the 50, there's not many guys here, but sure, it's a pass on. Yeah, like I'm not betting Jordan Spieth. I'm not like congrats Justin Rose. If you get us again, like I'll tip my cap.
Yeah, pass. like I told you that Ricky rates out really well for me. I'm not betting Ricky in this tournament at 55-1.
If you made me guess Ricky's odds, I would have guessed like 85, 90-1 today.
Me too. That's why I'm not getting there. Next range. We'll just call this the 60 plus. I have made 2 bets from this range. And I have, let's see here.
Did I name at least one of them there then?
Well, I wrote up one, so you should be able to guess that one.
Yeah. Who always might be the fairest odd in golf, one of them. I stopped looking at you. Did I lose you?
I thought you were going to guess.
Oh, Sepp Straka.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Like who? You look at these golf players. Sepp Straka, 70-1, 65-1. It's like, I don't know if you got to be a, legendary flusher, Sepp Straka.
Yeah, just make some putts, man. We'll be good. He was horrible. I think his number's been long all season anyway, and Tee to Green had been playing really, really well. But he was like, I think he shot 80 at Riviera in one of the third or fourth round. And that it kind of tanked his number. And he doesn't have enough brand name equity that a really bad round actually does impact his odds, which is good for us, I think.
Like, I'm sure there were some bigger numbers earlier, and I saw a book like switch off it. Like, I'm not an each way guy, but in a field like this, like you got to get a Sepp Straka 70-1 with an each way. Like, what's going on?
How about I give you a Sepp Straka 110-1 with 3 places, which I bet.
There you go. Yeah. He's the type of player, like he could shoot an 80 and I don't care because I feel like I've seen him do that before and it like not carry over at all.
Yeah, he was bad on the way. It was the third round at Riviera. He was just horrendous. And he was really bad. He wasn't like really, really bad in the fourth round. He wasn't good in the fourth round. But previous to that, he'd been kind of on fire. Between Pebble, Phoenix, Amex. He missed the cut at Amex, but he played awesome at the stadium course, Tee to Green. It's just the putter wasn't coming around. You know what the fun thing is? I've seen him putt on these surfaces before and win on these surfaces before. It just happened to be the week previous at PGA National. So I trust him on Bermuda. Like he's the classic, I don't care what his putting splits are. He either putts really well or really poorly. There's not a whole lot of in between with Sepp Straka's putting. He's either got it or doesn't. And I'm okay with that.
Yep. Another veteran, like if the number was higher, I might have considered was Jason Day, but it just doesn't feel like it's all there at the moment.
I also bet Alex Noren 110-1 with those 3 places.
You become a little Noren guy, eh? Look at you.
I know. I just need whatever he did in Europe from September to December, and even when he played the hero and lost to Scottie by a stroke or Hideki by a stroke, whatever it was, he came in second. I just need him to get back to driving the ball that way because everything else is kind of there. We've even seen it like in 2 of the 4 rounds of each of the signature events. He's just kind of like popped up. It's like, okay, I can get on board with this. And the one thing that really sold me on him was using the rabbit hole, and like everything is in there now. So like people were looking when the Fantasy National transition happened over. We're still trying to populate the rabbit hole with all of like the good stats that Fantasy National had. So like you have your par 4 ranges in there now, like 0 to 350, 350 to 400, par 3 ranges, par 5 ranges. There's also proximity from the rough that's in there now. And there's no better player in this field so far this year from the rough in proximity than Alex Noren from beyond 150 yards. Guess where a lot of shots come from this week? He's
a guy I've bet like religiously through Florida golf before, coming up empty. So I don't hate that one. And there's really not much from around here. You'd mentioned Højgaard earlier.
So there was two that I was floating around. So Fitz, now Ludwig, as we were talking. Fitz 33, Ludwig 66, Straka and Norm both 110 to 1, all with 3 places. So a top 3 pays 1/5 their odds. The other three that I was floating around, Nicolai, Cootie, and Gerard. It feels like a really nice Gerard buyback week here, although we're not getting great odds on it, and I don't know if he can actually make a putt, but the ball striking was still there, and you need to be a good ball striker at this course, or you have no chance.
Nicolai, Cootie, and Gerard.
Yeah. Part of my rant about Knapp and Cootie was that I kind of wanted to bet Cootie, so to make myself feel good about the guy who's more than double Knapp's number, I'd rather just bet Cootie. But why not?
You
long and straight off the tee? Who's better? Scottie. Then Cootie.
Yeah, you can get some big placements there. Did you end up I don't remember who you said. Because those two young Canadians, who got top Canadian? And I know you'd mentioned you were going to bet one.
Ewart ended up as top Canadian, which hit at 5 to 1. But then our guy, Shooter McGavin, Old Yeller, he ended up coming T17 as well, which when we get to Puerto Rico, he might be on the card.
Ooh, fancy. Is
Why not?
Ewart playing in Puerto Rico too?
I believe he is, yes. And so is Ben Silverman, who ended up with 4 rounds with Brooks at the Cog.
Yeah, they're bunker buddies there. I saw.
He replaced Zalatoris when Zalatoris WD'd, so he was with Brooks in the featured groups, and then he just ended up with Brooks each of round 3 and round 4 as well.
Good.
Got anyone else? Do you like Gerard, Nicolai, or Cootie? I feel like Nicolai has to be a
Nicolai would be the one that I maybe would have a preference for, but
I think
again, like now we're at elevated. It's Cardi season.
Sure, but I've seen Nicolai go toe-to-toe with these guys at the top before.
Yeah,
I've never seen Cootie do it. I've never seen Gerard do it. Nicolai has experience battling these guys, be it in the DP World Tour Championship, which I believe he won, or maybe it was Rasmus who won.
Yeah, I mean, my ceiling here is probably closer to like that Nicolai Noren than, climbing above that. I don't even know that I'd get there. Even as we joked last week off the Bridgman win, I didn't tail Sky on that because I just didn't believe like his was gonna pop a cherry at elevated. Like, no, just keep my shekels.
This happens once or twice a year where guys from down in that range win an elevated event. Like Kitayama did that here.
Yeah, Kitayama. We had that summer at Kitayama, and then I mean he got hot for a bit, but like Glover barnstormed elevated. Keegan's done it a couple times now, right?
Yeah, Keegan's interesting because he's just not playing well at all.
Does Keegan ever play great in Florida? I guess we have bet Keegan. Keegan's been decent at the hard Hondas back in the day, I feel.
I think he was 4th here last year.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I'm not getting there just because.
Yeah, Keegan Day, like we spoke about that pocket on the board. It just.
I bet you. Yeah, past 5 years at this event for Keegan. 5th, 36th, 10th, 11th, 10th. So he's played it pretty well.
Not a bad, geez. Yeah. So that answers that. I bet you if I looked at some of these other CVs, they'd be pretty good too. Like Day and these other guys.
Rose is probably one of them. Hideki's probably one of them. It's just that's.
And I think Min Woo's had a great run here before. Or maybe just a great round, but I could be making.
I feel like Min Woo once shot like 17 over par and around here. Maybe I'm misremembering that.
That's between here the players. It sounds about right. Yeah.
Minwoo has been terrible at this event in his career. Cut.
So maybe you're right. It is next week then.
Well, he was in that final group with Scottie 2 years ago. I think he actually played pretty well or 3 years ago. Yeah, I think he played pretty well at the Players last year. 4 appearances at Bay Hill. Cut T44. Cut for Minwoo. Yeah. He's just
normally Minwoo would have played last week, but he's just too good now.
You need a spot where Minwoo can miss. That's why we all liked him in Houston last year, right?
I guess.
Like, listen, I just put in the bet on Nicolai, 100 to 1, 3 places. Nicolai's going to win Houston, would be my guess, because that is a perfect course for him.
Nicolai wins Houston. Yeah, that he just like, yeah, I could he fits Houston very much. He's the sort of guy I like to bet in Houston.
So, yeah, so I might go with Gerard or Cootie to fill out 6, but I might just keep it at 5. We got lots of tournaments to bet this week, Geoff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's move to Puerto Rico. Or do you want to talk LIV very quickly? LIV Hong Kong, because I got 3 bets in there.
We can talk it. I don't really have much. It's speaking of getting off the mat, like, I don't know, John Rahm over 4-1.
Sweet.
I don't know what they played here before. Should I know something about this place?
Yeah, Rahm's played well here each of the past 2 years.
Who's won here?
Answer won 2 years ago, and that is my first bet, 33-1 with 3 places. He beat, I believe, Paul Casey that year, or maybe Casey won the year before that. So I bet Casey, I think he's 85-1 with the 3 places, maybe even bigger than that. Paul Casey's way down the board. Where's my Paul Casey bet? 125-1 on Paul Casey with the 3. And then the magic bet of the week that we were able to get in. You ready for it, Geoff? You know what it is. Did you wager on it as well, or did you just wager for me on it?
No, I got some. Is it still available? And we're good. Hey, that guy, we're good.
We're good. So LIV Tour, and this was only available. I'll give them the shout out because I looked on every other place. Wade Ormsby was like 125-1 or 150-1 at DraftKings. I should probably go look it up in real time to see if he's still there, but he was 1,350-1 to win. So I bet that. I thought the 150 was generous, but yeah, 1,350-1. We can clear like 20K here, Geoff, when the ace of Wades wins.
I wonder if they've corrected that yet.
You think that they would have had to?
What the hell?
What? Is it like 2,000-1 now?
No, they put the senior thing up, but it caught me off guard because it's called the Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational.
Yes, yeah, that threw me off too because that was the first thing on one of the apps.
I was about to bet on Justin Herbert.
Wade is still 1,300 plus 13,500 currently. He is the second to last player in this field. Like, it's a LIV event, man, at a course where he's played awesome over the years. And Anthony Kim just won on LIV. Like, anyone can win on LIV.
Anyone can win on LIV. Yeah.
So Wade Ormsby will be very rich when he wins, Geoff. We'll top last week with this week with Wade Ormsby on LIV. The only other look I was thinking about considering was Burmeister, who kind of flailed in the South African event on DP last week, but he's played well. He's been playing well in general. He played well here in the past, and I just like Dean Burmeister, so he would be the other one that I would think about. But his odds are 45-1. I might be able to get there on Burmeister as well, considering the Ormsby one's more like gag money that get 3, and Casey's 125. Like I'll go Answer, Burmeister, Ormsby, Casey. Those will be my LIV picks, and I'll forget that the tournament's happening. And hopefully, when I see $20,000 in my account, I'll be like, all right, we won.
All right, we won.
I'm more fired up for the Puerto Rico Open, though. This is, if there was ever a Pat Mayo tournament, this is it.
Yes, we some good subfield viewing.
I watched more of this last year than I watched of Henley beating Morikawa because I had Phillips, and I was just sweating every Phillips 5-foot putt. He ended up winning by 3. It was great. But my main man, Stephen Fisk, isn't playing. I was so amped to bet Stephen Fisk. He's like, I'm too good. Too good for the Puerto Rico Open now. Not playing. Yeah. Kevin Roy, same way. Kevin Roy taking a pass.
Oh, surprised by Fisk.
So the betting board at the PRO, the Pro, Rasmus Højgaard is the favorite. Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson, who was second last year, but that was a backdoor second. He went nuts on the final day. Bezadenhout, your boy Davis Thompson, who we both bet last week. Ricky Castillo is up there, despite still not spelling his name that way. Hao Tong, Matt Wallace, Michael Brennan, John Parry, Seamus Power, Eric Cole, Vince Whaley. That's everyone under 40-1 at this tournament. I told you I had a Cool Bet boost. I still got it. If you go to coolbet.com right now in the PME exclusives tab, you can get Michael Brennan at 42-1, which I am sure that's the best number out there.
Yeah, Brennan 42 seems pretty strong.
Yeah, he's down to 30 in some spots, 36 in other spots, 42 at Coolbet. Michael Brennan, I'm in on Michael Brennan. He had it's funny because EPAT took shit for it, and he was absolutely right that Brennan's driver is a cheat code anywhere he goes. It's a lot. Listen, Cameron Champ wasn't the best player going. Cameron Champ has 3 PGA Tour wins. You know why, Jeff?
He just drove the shit out of it.
Because when he showed up, he led the field in driving. And that's what Brennan is doing every single week right now. You just need to catch. He's already won. He won in Utah over the swing season. Like, his putting was terrible at API. Putting on Paspal on these slow greens, let's go. Give me some Michael Brennan.
Yeah, 40-1 seems more than fair for him.
I agree. That's why
even the 35s, I would still probably play.
Yeah, with you. His each way 3's 50. I'd rather just take the 40 on that if it's just going to be all up near the top. So here are the other names that I'm considering. You ready for this? I wrote them down.
Yeah.
Shooter Sean Yellamaraju, or Old Yeller, as we're going to continue to call him, or Shooter McGavin, one of the two. He is 85-1. David Ford, my guy, is 50-1. Chandler Blanchett is 100-1, who struck the shit out of the ball over the first 2 rounds at Cog and then got cut because he couldn't chip or putt. But that's what I looked for with Phillips last year. Like, his ball striking, his approach play was awesome. Couldn't putt at the Cog. Goes on to win the very next week. So I'm going to take a shot on Chandler Blanchett. Jimmy Stanger, who's played well at this tournament before, he was second in average strokes gained total behind only Carl Phillips in this field. He's 140-1. I got to roll with my main man, Zach Bauschu. I bet him last week. Why not bet him again? He's 100-1. So that's where I want to be this week with those guys.
Yeah, I see Eugenio's here.
Yeah, Chikara. I gave him a look. I didn't like his odds, though. He's been kind of like crappy.
60?
He's been kind of crappy on DP. Since he won 3 times last year, he's been bad ever since. Basically, since I bet him at the PGA Championship, he's been bad.
Yeah, I don't know. You can just bet a lot of fun young kids here. Just play the talent, Luke Clanton.
You can, but I think that the one thing that I've noticed about these subfield tournaments, the alternate events over the years, is
Josh Teeter's going to bring it home.
Yeah, but people get so enamored with the bigger names that are here. You have to remember.
Prospects.
Yeah, or guys that you've seen compete in like really good tournaments. But here's the thing that people forget about that. There's a reason that they're not playing in the API. That there's a reason they're playing in Puerto Rico. That I like Rasmus Højgaard as much as the next guy. I feel like he's a very fragile 14-1.
John Perry? What?
I like John Perry, but his odds are silly.
He's European, right?
Yeah, he's on the PGA Tour now. He's played pretty well. He played in the field last week. But I would rather just take my shots down the board. Like, if Adrien Dumont-Charette didn't have such a good week last week, he would be 80-1. I bet him here last year when he was 150. I like him for this course. Don't want to bet him at 40-1.
Yeah, I saw him like sort of squeak to the second page of the leaderboards. Good for him.
Yeah, Chassel. Yeah, then there's just guys.
But yeah, I don't know. He like just young guys who hit it further than everybody. Like, you could construct that card.
Yeah, Max McGreevy I wanted to bet, but then he decided. All the guys I wanted to bet for this tournament decided not to show up. Do you think they're protesting Bad Bunny? That's why they're not playing?
No. I think that they're probably just, I don't know. They probably see their schedule. They probably have enough starts. They're not concerned. I don't know.
So did you watch much of what David Ford was up to last week?
I saw the Eagles and the double squares and the whole gamut. But
it
good
was
for him.
It
good
was
for
amazing.
Him.
He put in a round on Sunday, like a legit good round. That kind of got me. I hated it on one hand that I don't want to say it crushed his number for this week, but it's worse than it probably would have been if he hadn't had such a hot Sunday. But I'm just a believer. I'm adopting David Ford as one of my guys.
Yeah, he seems like the real deal.
Davis Riley was the only other one who I gave some consideration to. And I can probably bet 5 of these guys at beyond 100-1. So it's not going to cost me all that much money. But I just thought it was very interesting. His approach play was really, really good at Honda. and that's about all he did. But I think he had a really good run in this tournament a year ago. And that, if, again, I feel like Paspalum is the ultimate equalizer with a lot of this stuff. And generally speaking, his putting is pretty good. So if he can continue the good iron play, he was cut last week, but gained almost 3 strokes on approach in his 2 rounds.
Not that you care. Is there European Tour golf this week?
Yeah, Joburg Open. Yeah, he's played this twice.
If there wasn't, then like Tom and Sky would probably just do an hour breaking down like the long shots in this field, and I would just tail them.
Yeah. Well, now you can tail me. Chandler Blanchett, 151, 3 places. Yeah, Davis Riley's played this twice, T39, T6 in his 2 appearances. Coming off a bad week, but was actually a good week for him, if that makes sense.
Could you think we could still see withdrawals here?
From
like Rasmus or
no, unless is Damon playing?
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he's probably the first alt to API now. Maybe if one of these guys is the first alt, like Hao Tong was pretty close. Who do you think is going to be the popular bets this week? Because I have 3 guys I think that people are going to bet.
Popular bets here are probably going to be probably, I don't know, Castillo or Hao Tong at 30-1 would be popular.
I was thinking Rasmus
Cole?
Niergaard Peterson, Hao Tong Lee, and Michael Brennan are going to be your 3 that people are going to go to. And I just think, I'm betting Brennan. I got him at 42, obviously, but I'd rather just start taking shots down the board at an event like this and play it with especially like the top 3 each way on some of these guys. Like I can take Blanchett from 100 to 150, Riley from 80 to 150. Like that's worth it for me to do. Zach Bauschu up to from 66 to 110 to 1. Where's Shooter Sean? Yeah, Old Yeller, get him at 110 to 1. All these guys are beyond 100 to 1. Why not?
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, time to get serious.
Let's get the quick picks in us, right? Here are the picks. 3 tournaments, API, Puerto Rico, and LIV. I will have my cheat sheet coming out on Wednesday to put this all in case I add someone, take someone off. The money I have it on people already, I can't take off, but I'll finalize on my Puerto Rico bets because the market just opened as we were looking for it. But API, these are all played with 3 placements, so a boost on their outright, but it's double the bet because you also get them as the top 3, just like last week. Fitz 33, Ludwig 66, Straka 110, Nikolai 100, and Alex Noren 110, and I'll probably add Pierce and Cootie to that list as well. LIV Hong Kong, Answer 33 with the 3, Burmeister 45 with the 3, Casey 125 with the 3, and then the Ace of Wades, Wade Ormsby, 1,350 to 1, win-only market for Wade Ormsby. And then for Puerto Rico, Michael Brennan, that boost at Coolbet is up to 42 to 1 if you want to take it. Otherwise, he's going to be 35. I like it at the 35 anyway. David Ford at, 75 with the 3, Chandler Blanchett, Shooter Sean Yelamaraju, Davis Riley. I think that was all. Zach Bauschu, those guys, taking those 6. 6, 4, 6. We were up a ton of money. Let's give some back, Jeff.
Did you say you're betting Nikolai?
Yes, I did. I bet Nikolai at API.
Yeah, I feel like I just saw like the screens flash. Seems like he's been taking some money this morning.
He should be. Should be taking some money. He's playing good golf.
Yeah, not many people have, but seems like he's taking it.
He would be a classic winner of the API. Like when you think back, like in your mind, because you mentioned the 5 American winners in a row, but the API that you're thinking about, Nikolai, Noren, Straka, they are the ultimate guys to win that event.
So for me, it seems like, unless someone, there's a sports book that wants to trick me into betting Tommy, they'll have to like give me a nice number. I'm not seeing it yet. My shortest decision in terms of the price is going to be between Fitz and Collin. And then after that, like Ludwig 50, Cam 40. Like, what else doing? Hopefully Scottie loses. Hopefully one of my guys walks through the door. I don't have much more for you on that.
You just gonna tell me on LIV and tell me on Puerto Rico, or just abstain?
I haven't done that. I'll tell everyone on Michael Brennan. But my live card, my Puerto Rico card is going to be like just young guns that drive it like to the moon. That will be every bet I make.
So Shooter Sean then.
Shooter Sean.
Shooter. Bang, bang. Win in Puerto Rico. Wouldn't that be Canadian too? It'd be nice. Get a Canadian win on the board.
Yeah, so did Nico and Casey Jarvis make the President's Cup team or what?
I don't know if Casey Jarvis did. Nico, listen, this is no different than when Cust declared Thomas Dietrich a lock at this time last year to be on the European team. Now, it's easier, granted, to make the President's Cup team, especially with no live guys being eligible, but I mean, why isn't Jordan or Jaden Shaper on the team over Jarvis? Like, Shaper's been playing better. He won twice, like 4 weeks ago instead of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but I noticed the same guy won twice, and it seemed like the same guys were chasing him.
Yeah.
Henny Duplessis.
Oh, Henny Duplessis is back?
Yeah, he's been playing great.
Good for him. That guy mashes it off the tee.
Is he in Puerto Rico?
No, I believe that he's playing in South Africa again.
It makes sense.
Most of the guys that played last week in South Africa stayed in South Africa outside of the live guys who went back to play live. One and done. Picks for the week. Geoff, this is by far your best year ever in one and done. You have 2 winners in 6 events in the one.
Are you looking at the whole sheet?
I am. I'm looking at the whole sheet right now. In fairness, can I have half credit for your Nico Echeverria pick last week since you tried to?
You get a lot of credit, but the ledger doesn't. I'm giving you credit. The ledger doesn't give you the credit.
If people don't remember what happened, you went to go pick Nikolai Højgaard, and I bullied you into Nico Echeverria instead. I had Shane Lowry, so we had first and second. You now have 4.1 million. I have 3.5 million. Cust had Brooks. Now, Cust took Brooks last week. That's who he took. And was bragging about his T9 and lost substantial ground to both of us. He is at $1.6 million this week. As I mentioned before, Cust is taking Rory. Since you have won, you get first pick again.
Have I used Fitzpatrick?
Let me see here. No, you haven't used Fitz. Yeah, yes, you have used Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
you used him at.
I'm asking for clarification. So I'll take Morikawa.
All right, Morikawa for Geoff.
Check that I haven't used them, but you probably just stared at it. So.
You've used Kitayama, Siwoo, Wyndham Clark, Goddard with a win, Day, Fitzpatrick, and Nico. And I will use Matt Fitzpatrick this week at API.
All right, good luck. Get a win.
I still got my juicy Matt Fitzpatrick Masters future. Need him to pick up a win here somewhere.
Yeah, I think maybe you talked me into that. I was in on the Matthew Fitzpatrick Valhalla bets are in my account.
I mean, I can pull it out. Listen, we've been going long anyway. What's an extra 15 seconds for me to log in to see what I got at CoolBet right now? CoolBet.com. Hit the description. Get yourself a bonus if you're in Canada outside of Ontario. Where's my bets? Go to the bottom, see what I got cooking down here. Matt Fitzpatrick. Yeah, so from our sick net balance, Pat. Matt Fitzpatrick, Masters, 110-1. Noren Open Championship, 175-1. McIntyre PGA Championship, 110-1. Rose PGA Championship, 90-1. And actually, I have McIntyre 110-1 PGA Championship again as well because they gave me a boost on that. And Fitz PGA Championship too. So I kind of centered it on a few Euro guys because it felt like all the Euro guys had just stupid odds compared to what they should have been. So those are the futures.
Masters number is pretty sweet.
What is it now?
60, maybe 50.
All right, so yeah, having double that is nice. When he doesn't win, I'll hug my CLV tight and go to sleep at night.
When he wins this week or next week, he'll be 30.
Oh, how about he just win? You know what? I will live with him not winning the Masters if he wants to win this week. That would be fine.
There it is.
That will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. Smash like, sub to the channel. Cool bet, Underdog, code Mayo as well. That's another thing, Geoff. Won a whole bunch on Underdog this week. Now, secretly, I put it out on Twitter, but it was Blickle who reminded me of it. And the Blickle show will be coming out first thing on Tuesday mornings. I'm recording it before I go fly. So that has become such a fun show and an informative show that people should really be tuning into that.
He's top shelf, Alex.
Yeah.
And he doesn't he's so disciplined with his betting too. So
He bets like 2 guys a week, and some weeks he doesn't bet because the odds don't. I'm got 15 fucking bets in so far. let's go. I got money in the. I withdrew $4,000 this morning, and then I left more than I normally have.
You leave a few. I'm gonna go have some fun in the casino.
That's
how it works.
Yeah.
I don't mean the virtual casino,
but yeah,
I mean like.
Yeah, it's like, I just want
these chips to bet some golfers.
Yeah, I hit 2 back-to-back double zeros on roulette. I'll go cash out one of those and let the other ones ride. So we're letting a few bucks ride this week, which is probably why it's Gambling Awareness Month, Jeff.
Let's do it.
All right, that will do it for me at the PME at GFienberg17. The article is out now. That's down in the newsletter. And of course, you need to be using the rabbit hole. That's where I'm getting all my info. It's how I'm making my better bets. And listen, 5 second-place finishes, actually 6 if you count Smotherman, and a win so far. So we're close. Hopefully we can make it back-to-back this week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Hell, maybe I'll play a Trixie with that extra money, Jeff. Play a parlay of all 3 and hope to be the luckiest man on earth. That'll do it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you won some cash last week. Let's win it again this week. I'll see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!